What if I told you that the last time you felt truly alive, I mean really alive, you were probably asking a question you didn't have the answer to? Not the kind of question Google can solve in 0.3 seconds. The kind that keeps you up at night. The kind that makes you lean forward. The kind that whispers, "There's more here. Keep digging." Welcome back to the Growth Shelf. This is episode 12 of the Growth Blueprint. And today, we're not just talking about a principle. We're talking about the heartbeat of transformation, the law of curiosity. Here's what nobody tells you about getting stuck. You didn't stop growing because you're broken. You didn't plateau because you're lazy. You stopped growing because you stopped wondering. Pause. Think about it. When you were 5 years old, you asked why about everything. Why is the sky blue? Why do birds fly? Why do people cry? You were a walking question mark. And the world was infinite. But somewhere between childhood and adulthood, something happened. The questions stopped. Not because you got all the answers, but because you got comfortable not knowing. You replaced curiosity with routines, assumptions. That's just how I am. And that phrase, "that's just how I am," that's not self-awareness. That's a coffin. John C. Maxwell drops this truth. Growth is stimulated by asking why. Not by having all the answers. Not by being the smartest person in the room. By being the one still willing to say, "I don't know, but I want to find out." Because here's the secret high performers understand. Curiosity is the bridge between who you are and who you could become. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine two people facing the same setback. Person A says, "I failed. I'm just not cut out for this. This proves I'm not good enough." Door closed. Conversation over. Growth dead. Person B says, "Interesting. What went wrong? What can I learn from this? What would I do differently next time?" Same failure. Completely different trajectory. You see it? Person A judged the experience. Person B investigated it. One stopped. One kept going. And the difference wasn't talent. It was curiosity. Now here's where this gets personal. If your life feels like it's on repeat, same patterns, same struggles, same results, it's not because you're broken, it's because you stopped interviewing yourself. Let me ask you, when you procrastinate, do you just call yourself lazy, or do you ask what you're avoiding? When you feel unmotivated, do you just push through, or do you ask what actually lights you up? When you react emotionally, do you just apologize, or do you ask why that moment triggered you? See, judgment shuts you down. Curiosity opens you up. Judgment says, "I'm the problem." Curiosity says, "There's a pattern here. Let's understand it." And that shift from shame to study, that's where transformation lives. Here's what changed everything for me. I stopped trying to fix myself and started trying to understand myself. No pressure, no force, just curiosity. I'd ask, why do I feel resistance here? What story am I telling myself? What part of me is trying to protect me right now? And slowly, growth stopped feeling like a battle. It started feeling like discovery. Like I was an archaeologist, not a drill sergeant. Uncovering, not conquering. Pause, because curiosity doesn't demand. It invites. It says, "Come explore. Let's see what's here." So here's your challenge this week. Don't fix anything. Don't force anything. Just get curious. Pick one area of your life that feels stuck. Your career, your relationships, your habits, your self-talk. And instead of judging it, study it. Ask, what patterns keep showing up? What am I avoiding? What belief might be outdated? What would happen if I tried something different? Write those questions down. Sit with them. Let them breathe. Because growth doesn't start when you have all the answers. It starts when you're brave enough to ask better questions. Here's the truth most people miss. You don't need to know how to change. You just need to stay curious enough to keep exploring. The how reveals itself. The path unfolds, but only if you keep asking. Children grow fast because they question everything. Adults grow slow because they assume they already know. But the most dangerous assumption you can make is this: I already know who I am. Do you? Because the version of you that existed 5 years ago, that person didn't know what you know now. And the version of you 5 years from now, they're going to look back and think, I had no idea what was coming. And that's the point. You're not done. You're not fixed. You're not just how you are. You're becoming. And curiosity is the engine. So let me leave you with this. The moment you stop asking questions is the moment growth stops answering. Stay curious, my friend, because the most interesting version of you, they're waiting on the other side of a question you haven't asked yet. This is episode 12 of The Growth Blueprint. If this opens something up, save it, share it, and start asking again. Episode 13 is coming, and we're diving into the law of modeling, why who you follow determines how fast you grow. Until then, stay curious.